like 14 pounders.
Okay, okay. So when you're like pulling it out the water, it feels like it's about to be a bigger one, right?
Yeah, it does. But then you pull it out the water and it's like
it's just
down
this
on the
normal sound. Yeah, yeah, normal size. You're like,
hanging down, but it's really not that heavy.
yeah. So in our country right now, everything is, you know, uneasy. People are angry, being African American in today's world. Like, how do you feel about it, and what are your takes on it?
Shoot, man, I just want to see change happen, really. I mean, I've grown up, I've seen some of it just being from my dad grew up with segregation, just like seeing stuff growing up and just to, like where we are at now. Like I just want to see change. I'm happy everyone's trying to stand up for it, but really all that comes down to is just change, and we need to make a change.
And you were part of the that peaceful protest in New Orleans back a few months ago, was it?
Yeah, yeah. I went down there. The one down in the park downtown. It was just a peaceful one, and then there was a march that we also did, a peaceful march, and some of the other guys on the team were there as well.
How'd it feel, like being a part of something like that? Like for me, I'm Canadian, so I don't understand. Like, not understand because I still live here and I'm still Black in America, but like I've never had to go through a protest march on social equality. So it's like, how do you feel?
Shoot, man, for me it was pretty cool just being a part of that, like learning about stuff like that, like learning about the peaceful protests from when we were younger in school and stuff like that. Just learning about that type of stuff, and then actually being a part of one is just something really cool. I felt like.
So you got all this time on your hands. We practice, we chill, we go fishing, we chill. Off days, pretty much time to ourselves. We have that 3-hour slot, but you got a TV show and a movie. Which one's your go-to?
TV show, Rick and Morty. Movie, oh, this is the end right now. I gotta go.
That's a good one. It's a good one. It's a timely one. I'll tell you that. It feels
right
like
now, for right now, it's perfect.
Well,
all going on with Corona and everything in our world.
TV shows, man. I feel like just being here has made me want to watch hella Disney Channel.
Yeah,
so I've been watching like a lot of That's So Raven, Disney XD, Hannah Montana. That's what I grew up on. I don't care. I liked it. It was fun. It was funny. Zach and Cody, Two Life on Deck. Yeah. Like, so I just go rotating on every channel. I'm about to get onto Corey in the House next. But movie, I think my all-time favorite would probably be Law Abiding Citizen, and I watch it like all the time. And like I'll probably ruin it if I describe it, but it's so fire. I can't get enough of it. All right, bro.
Good stuff there from Nikhil and Jackson. Okay, the one I did not know that Nikhil was a big fan of Disney and Disney Plus. Boy Meets World, though, he forgot about that one. That is a classic. So great stuff there from those two. And also, those lakes that they're fishing at are man-made. And from what I've heard, sources tell me, keep this between us, that they actually added a lot of fish into those lakes in the bubble so that players have an easier time catching them. But we're not going to tell Jackson that. He did catch 2 fish, as he mentioned, so we're going to give him props to that. Good stuff from them guys. And they're, again, these 3 rookies between Zion, Jackson, Nikhil, we can't forget about Nico. All of them coming together has been really helpful for them getting comfortable in a new environment, especially dealing with this pandemic. Those 3 guys and those 4 guys are really lucky to have each other because not a lot of teams have 4 or 5 rookies on the roster. So the Pelicans got some good ones, some high character guys, and that goes to David Griffin and Trajan Langdon for making those moves. All right, let's take some fan questions. As I mentioned, again, if you want to comment, make sure on the right side of your screen if you want to ask me some questions besides how I got these great looks. We'll talk about that later, of course. But let's send it to question number 1. All right, from David Anderson, who on the team is most likely to shout at opponents shooting a free throw? That's a great question, and it's kind of hard to answer because this is a really quiet team Alvin Gentry said it plenty of times that these guys don't really like to talk. They really like being around each other. As far as shouting, you really don't hear from a lot of guys, but we might get an answer from JJ Redick and Josh Hart later on in the show, so you don't want to miss it. Here's question number 2. Do you think Zion will play more minutes, Casey? That's a great question. We saw his minutes expand in the third game against the Memphis Grizzlies. Played around 25. He played 8 to 10 minutes in that fourth quarter. And after the game, he said he really felt alive. So I would expect that number to go up a little bit. We'll probably know in the next couple of days when Alvin Gentry addresses the media. But again, they wanted to ramp him up. In his first 3 games back in early January, he played 20 minutes, 21 minutes, and then 27. So that's where we're kind of at in game number 3 of seeding play. So that's a big step forward for Zion. And the most important thing is he was able to close out the game for New Orleans. So that was a big plus for them last night. All right, last question before we get into some more of the entertainment. Yo, where are we placed in the seeding? I had to emphasize the yo. And yo, Julian, what's up? Pelicans are 11th right now in seeding play. As I mentioned earlier, just a half game back of the Spurs, half game back of the Portland Trail Blazers. So again, go Rockets tonight. And just 2.5 games back of the Memphis Grizzlies for 8. The Grizzlies just got some tough news as one of their star players, Jaren Jackson Jr., has a torn meniscus. He'll be out for the rest of the time. So, again, we don't want to wish injury, but the Memphis Grizzlies, who have not won a game yet, their schedule gets a little bit tougher, and so the Pelicans need to put the pressure on them. And also Portland and San Antonio. Pelicans will play San Antonio on Sunday. All right, some great questions. Continue to submit them. We'll get to more later on in the show. All right, before we get to some trivia question, I do want to talk about an experience I've had with this team in the 2018 playoffs. You want to talk about potentially becoming a member of Squad 6? Well, there's a great reason why I think you should. 2018, the NBA playoffs began, and no one thought the Pelicans were going to go anywhere. They were